Quincy Jones passed away at the young age of 91 recently, setting a million Wikipedia editors off to the races to type in was, as in Quincy Jones was an American record producer, not is. Well, who won? We find out that and more, plus quirky and obscure facts about Quincy here on
Real Brave Life.
Do you know Quincy Delight Jones?
Not personally.
Jr.?
No.
When you were, what's your middle name?
Thomas.
What's your middle name? You're Italian. You probably don't have one.
Vincent.
The very nice.
Vincent Salvatore.
Exactly.
What do you think delight means?
To
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
or I was thinking as a verb is to make joyous.
To make joyous, sure. He was an American record producer, composer, arranger, conductor, trumpeter, and bandleader. And over the course of his 7-decade career, he received many accolades, including 28 Grammy Awards. That's 28 more than you have, Kevin.
It is
So far.
so far, but he's not winning anymore. So
It's true. He came
Field's
to,
wide open now.
according to Wikipedia, he came to prominence in the 1950s as a jazz arranger and conductor before producing pop hit records for Leslie Gore in the early 1960s.
It's My Party, I
It's
believe.
My
is
Party,
Leslie
very
Gore,
good.
right? Yeah.
He was the arranger and conductor for Frank Sinatra and the jazz artist Count Basie.
he was one of few African American collaborators in Frank Sinatra's circle, which is ironic considering jazz.
Yeah. We have stuff to say about that a little later. He also produced albums by pop star Michael Jackson, which is Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. Who's Bad? And in 1985, produced and conducted the charity song, unfortunately, We Are the World,
Yeah,
which raised funds for victims of famine.
I
in
think that
Ethiopia.
still holds the record for most Grammys ever for a single.
Yeah, and most celebrities sucking up to each other in a room.
Yeah,
Have either of you watched the Netflix documentary Greatest Night in Pop about that night recording it?
No.
It's actually a really fascinating documentary. So basically, they came up with this idea in a very short amount of time. It had 3 weeks to write the song and put everything together. And they decided they were going to record it the night of the American Music Awards because they figured all these stars will be in LA. We'll get a studio overnight and just do it basically from midnight to 5 a.m. or whatever. And a lot of crazy stuff happened. People didn't show up that were supposed to. They had to rewrite some parts of it on the fly. But throughout it, Quincy Jones has this very almost like Yoda-ish presence. He's just very calm. He's keeping everybody in line. And I think a lot of times when we think about producers, you tend to think about sort of the sounds they get out of a record. That's very important, obviously. But when you're dealing with something like that, I think just keeping people chill and getting the best performances by making it a comfortable environment is probably a pretty big part of his job. You really see it on display there.
Yeah, I would imagine for all of those egos in that room, that was probably a very challenging bunch to manage. Just one thing about We Are the World. I hate that song.
Sucks, yeah.
And just particularly the interchange between, I think it's Stevie Wonder and Bruce Springsteen. Because Stevie Wonder is singing normal, we are the world, and Bruce Springsteen, we are the truth. Yeah, what the hell? It's the most jarring.
Yeah, but don't you think Quincy Jones is act like yourself?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, do you think that really is him? Does anybody wake up in the morning and go,
Probably Bruce.
Oh yeah, okay.
A friend of mine is obsessed with doing this joke where he'll be I'll ask him, how many eggs do you want to go? 1, 2, 3, 4. The Bruce Springsteen voice, he just counts everything like Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, everything is accounting. He can count to 4 for sure. We know that for fact.
He should have put in more of an effort like Bob Dylan did, just barely opening.
He's like the Frankie Valley of today.
Yeah, right.
What's amazing about Dylan there is that Dylan's this huge star for 30 years at this point, but he's kind of out of his element in there. There are these, you have Daryl Hall and Huey Lewis, these great pop singers.
So these are
great
singers.
And Dylan isn't that at all. And so you just see him kind of in the background being sheepish, and it's one of the few rooms that could probably make Bob Dylan feel ordinary or less than ordinary.
He
even
probably hated the song too.
Oh yeah,
right. He was his strength was songwriting, not singing or
right.
And that's just a shitty song. So I don't know why he was there.
Michael Jackson wrote it. It can't be that bad.
You know who else was there? Dan Aykroyd. One of my favorite bits of trivia: Dan Aykroyd's in the choir in the back.
Why?
He is in the choir. Yeah.
No one really knows why.
Blues Brothers, man.
Oh.
Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I did hear one bit that Cyndi Lauper was getting yelled at because of her jewelry.
Yes, they couldn't figure out what the noise was. There was some noise in the recording, and it was her jewelry was shaking all over the place because she was wearing so many different necklaces and baubles.
That's hilarious.
Way to ruin it, Cyndi. It was such a good song until you came.
Yeah, she's the problem.
Jones cited Ray Charles as an early inspiration for his music career, noting that Charles overcame blindness to achieve his musical goals, and Jones often credited his father's sturdy work ethic, giving him the means to proceed. He also often cited his father's rhythmic or rhyming motto: once a task is just begun, never leave until it's done, be the labor great or small, do it well or not at all. Kevin, was his father Dr. Seuss?
I don't know, like a really dystopian capitalistic Dr. Seuss. I'm the Lorax. I speak for the trees, and we are bulldozing them down
To your knees. Sorry.
So that's what that was.
Yeah. So I guess that wasn't true. But we do have a mini true or false. You want to give that a shot?
Yeah, sure.
So true or false?
Dan, I'm sorry. Can you just get the microphone a little bit closer to you? I have you maxed out, and you're here. You're the lowest of the three of us.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
look
yeah,
at that.
that's way better.
Yeah,
That's way better.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, everybody.
Just also, your thing is like sticking out.
This guy right here?
Yeah.
Oh. It's gonna be a good broadcast, everybody. I'm
Really?
sure.
Kevin's also too off center, but we're too far.
Which way should I move to?
You're fine.
Man.
Don't move anywhere. Folks, we've got a new setup here. I don't know if you've noticed. We actually stole the Joe Rogan podcast.
We're subletting. Let's be nice.
Thanks for pointing that out and ruining my day. We've been moving the set for like a few months, and we finally landed here, and we just needed a background. So we drove to Texas.
See, I actually think that we look like we are in the red room from Twin Peaks.
Oh, okay.
If anyone's ever watched Twin Peaks,
I got through like halfway through season 1 and I just gave up.
It's the best show of all time. You're
Oh, my
wrong.
God.
It's okay.
Everybody says that and it makes me upset, but like it's just
I know.
season 1's a slog.
I think
Season one's the best season.
Is it
it
really?
is real. It really is good.
Oh, well, then what the hell? I don't
You
know.
kind it's one of those things you sort of have to buy into what it is. If you don't like the aesthetic of it, it's not gonna get any better.
Yeah, like I like that. I really like that.
That's what we're in right now.
I
This
also
is-
like the love theme, but but then it's overdone. They do it like every scene. You're just like, oh, it's that scene. It's that theme again. What started me watching it was that song, but it's on an Instagram page called Sign Peaks, and it's Seinfeld scenes with that song underneath.
Okay.
So imagine that song with Elaine describing getting her like boyfriend to the airport.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
I
Yeah.
think you gotta kind of go into his mind, and live there for a little bit. And he's kind of in this wacky place where you're taking everyday conversations.
Yeah.
Like Lost Highway. Did you see Lost Highway?
I love Lost Highway. Yeah.
That. I watched it twice and I still don't understand.
Oh, I have no idea what happens in it.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen
Any
it.
David Lynch movies?
No, and I'm looking for new stuff to watch. I started rewatching Mr. Robot again because it's been like a year and a half.
I really liked it, and I just got like about it.
Did you finish it?
I didn't.
See,
I'm gonna come back to it.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for that.
I've been saying that for 2 years.
I know. Well, I'm watching Preacher right now, so.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna come back to that because I'm in a dystopian kind of weird world.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I had my COVID and flu shots on Sunday, which knocked me out.
Mm.
So I was laying in bed for a day, watched 7 movies. It was great.
Great.
Nice.
Great.
Nice.
Cool. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Way to be a good human being.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing your part.
I'm trying.
Okay. So true or false, Kevin?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we only have 3 of these, so nobody wins. Actually, no, one person could win.
We can buzz in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we each? If you think you know it, say your name, and I'll say so we can buzz in. It's
Okay, that's a buzzer.
yeah, it's a buzzer.
Does it say your name?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what the buzzer is.
Yeah. So we don't have actual buzzers here.
We need a buzzer.
I
Can we
guess
get a buzzer budget?
I guess I can do like. I can do my buzzer.
That
We have
works.
no budget. We've just cut everything from the budget from everywhere.
This is my buzzer. I'm gonna go.
Okay,
All right.
fine.
So, okay, that's your buzzer, and I'll do the sad trombone. Okay.
Okay.
All right, ready? True or false? Quincy Jones told a 12-year-old Michael Jackson that he was weird. I don't think that worked.
No, it didn't work.
Oh well, gentlemen first. Go on.
True.
Yeah, that is 100% true.
Wow, I was gonna say false because I know he's on record after Michael Jackson died. He did an interview and he said, "I don't think he was weird. I thought he was just very eccentric."
Okay.
But I could see telling a 12-year-old that he's weird.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. No, totally ruin his life.
Michael Jackson at 12 was like, "I'll show you weird."
Yeah.
Wait do you see
Challenge
me? Yeah,
accepted.
accepted. Wait do you see me when I'm 40? Okay, next one. Rashida Jones of Parks and Rec is Quincy Jones' niece. Oh,
Isn't that his daughter?
it is his daughter. Very good. We are. I don't know how we're gonna do this because you guys can't buzz in correctly.
I was letting him take that one because I got the first one.
All right, then I'll pick the person who goes first. I don't know how.
Okay.
Quincy Jones was primarily a trumpet player, like I was reading, but he was also known for his work on the shofar. The shofar is an ancient musical horn made of a ram's horn, mostly used for Jewish religious purposes. Okay.
He was a famous rabbi, and so that's true.
That is not true. That is false. It's the only other answer here. Brian wins.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, he officiated my bar mitzvah, so does that mean am I not a man?
You're not a man.
You're not a man. Yeah. Moving on. There are some obscure and quirky facts about musical maestro Quincy Jones. While arranging for Frank Sinatra, Jones changed the arrangement on the fly of "Fly Me to the Moon" from a waltz to a swing number. Do you know that?
No, I'm trying to imagine what
Your
this song would
grandmother
sound
was
like.
what? She was his
My
boobs?
great grandmother was Frank Sinatra's wet nurse. Yes, her boobs were involved.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And my grandfather fought him in high school, apparently.
That's so cool. Old closed eyes. So yeah, this is. Oh, and also that. Did you know that song was the song that was played in Buzz Aldrin's helmet, I guess, before stepping onto the lunar surface? "Fly Me to the Moon."
Wow, that's
I didn't know they
Appropriate.
had like Bluetooth.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it was the first iPod.
So you had to get the full NASA suit though for it to work.
It was really hard to get it on set.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine it not in its current form. So instead
I'm
of
trying
a
to
waltz,
even count it.
like a waltz,
yeah.
how would it be in a waltz? "Fly Me to the Moon." That's a waltz?
Yeah, sort of. I'm having trouble imagining it in 3.
Is it up here?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
If I do the chorus, hang on.
So then in a swing. Oh, okay.
I'm just cutting off a beat of a measure of 4.
Yeah. All right. Well, then it does sound. It sounds. I think maybe to the untrained ear that sounds a little similar, but to the snarky musician, it doesn't. Right.
Yeah.
Right, Kevin, snarky musician. Someone's in the bathroom. I have to.
It's probably not getting picked up by these mics.
No, definitely not.
No. For those keeping track at home, there's a bathroom next to us. It's a loud bathroom. Quincy's autobiography was so detailed that it inadvertently helped authorities solve a high-profile case.
Tupac and Biggie?
Yeah, well, authorities were investigating Tupac Shakur's death.
Oh, really? I was making a joke.
No. No. His daughter was living with him at the time. She was in their Las Vegas hotel while he was shot on September 7th, 1996, and I guess he was able to corroborate.
So I heard recently that Tupac was killed by somebody hired by Diddy
That's the rumor, yes.
for not wanting to participate in a freak off.
Well, yes, exactly.
Yes.
No, the rumor for years was that Diddy had him shot the first time,
Oh.
but I believe now they think maybe both times.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen here. Like, it's never going to come out, right?
With Diddy?
Yeah,
He's gonna get Epsteined.
he's gonna get Epstein, isn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah.
And we're never gonna find out all the swanky stuff.
No.
I want to find out.
I feel like the Diddy list, in a way, is almost more damning than the Epstein list because this is getting really great podcast content here. But I feel like the difference is like a lot of times people don't have a personal relationship with politicians. Like you vote for people, or whatever. It's not like it's when you buy music, you go see artists, you develop this like personal relationship with them. And so when people find out that their favorite artists were getting baby oil poured on them by Diddy, with people sex trafficked into the state,
sure,
it's gonna be a bad scene
good
for a lot of people. Yeah,
it's not good. Kevin has been there.
Yeah, I've been to the Diddy parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it?
I was not willing.
Off the hook?
Yeah.
Do they say that these days?
yes. If by these days you mean 1998, yeah, absolutely.
Off the hook.
Off the hizzy.
Off the hizzle.
See also whack.
Yeah. Quincy Jones also had a friendship with Bill Clinton. What instrument did Bill Clinton play?
The alto saxophone.
Yeah. Because they shared their love for jazz. I can't quite wrap my head around this one. You know, like what are they? Did they hang out? Like, did they literally hang out at the Epstein parties?
Probably.
Oh, God help us. Another one. This is actually kind of cool. He was neighbors to Picasso. And I just recently found out that Picasso was an artist in the 1950s. I thought he was in like the 1800s. I mean, when I say recently, I mean within the past 10 years.
Not the past 15 minutes.
Not in the past 15 minutes.
Researching this episode.
Yeah. Because when you think about it, you don't think of him as a modern day artist, but
yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah, he's pretty famous in the modernist movement.
I know, but the problem is I'm not that smart.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what.
It's not a matter of intelligence; it's culture.
Then I'm not that cultured. Brian, did you know this?
I did. No shade being thrown here, but I was aware of this.
Okay.
But I don't know what year Picasso died. Was it the 70s?
Yeah, I think it was later than I.
He's the first result when you search modernist painters.
Okay, so let's get this something straight here. When you think of painters, you think of old man painting something. You know,
sure.
Monet.
Yeah. Rembrandt. Yeah.
You know, Da Vinci.
Michelangelo.
Donatello.
Donatello.
He was a painter.
Master
Sure
Splinter.
Yeah.
The Shredder.
Yeah. Jackson Pollock.
Jackson. Well, that would be a modernist.
Yes.
Okay.
And also a hack. Come on.
A hack.
Let's be real. He splattered paint on a canvas.
And
he was the first guy to do that.
I did that with a bunch of stuff we had to throw out. I took a canvas and did all that. It was fun. You just kind of like this
and if you
thing.
had been the first guy to do that, you'd be a billionaire.
No, man.
And famous.
No, that's the problem with artists is that there's a billion people creating works of art that are incredible, but they'll never be found out.
And then one guy
ever.
comes along and he paints half of the canvas blue and the other half like off white.
Yeah.
And it sells for $15 million.
Some hipster goes.
Okay, but here's my argument with that. Okay, to a classically trained guitar player, somebody who has the weird fingernails that are cut perfectly for flamenco playing, they get their whole lives. When they heard Link Wray's Rumble on the radio in the 50s, they thought this fucking guy is getting famous for playing 3 notes with a broken speaker.
Yeah.
And I've been practicing my whole life. That's what you're saying about art. You're basically saying that the simplification of the form to somebody who views everything in a very classical manner is bad, but I think that you can look at it from the other angle. It's simplifying it. It's looking at it differently.
I
think you're getting made fun of by a guy in a Mr. Rogers sweatshirt.
I think that's more apples and oranges.
I don't deny it. It's a cardigan. Mr. Rogers wear cardigans.
And I'll tell you why. You know, Rick Ray's Rumble,
Link Wray,
whatever.
One of the few indigenous rock and roll artists.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So there you go.
I never heard the name.
What's
before.
an indigenous rock and roll artist?
Somebody who is of Native American descent.
Wouldn't indigenous be someone who was originally here in America?
Yes, Native American.
Right. Are you being politically correct with me?
No, I'm not. I'm saying
it is now Indigenous Peoples Day because Native American takes the implication that it was America.
Right.
America predates any the people that were here. But
I unsubscribe.
But okay, you take you take one of these hacky, in the Museum of Modern Art, and I can't name any examples because I don't care enough about them to do
Mark
that.
Rothko.
Sure.
Trust me.
And it's just like a square.
Rothko.
It's just a square painted on a canvas, and people are like, "Wow, that's so thought provoking." No, it's not. It's a fucking square on a canvas. Like what?
Yeah.
And it's not. It's like it would be the guitar equivalent of me going like this.
Yeah.
Money, please. Money me now. Money.
Well,
Need money
there's
now.
people that analyze and extract and do all this besides the art dealers, but and they say that this is a work of art because
Philip Glass
stuff.
Philip Glass, 3 minutes and whatever that's.
Isn't that Terry Riley?
I thought it was Philip Glass.
Pretty sure it's Terry Riley. 333.
333.
Yeah.
It's the Angel Number song. Or it's 3 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. There's a lot of remixes of it. That's weird.
Yeah.
John Cage. John Cage.
Wait. Did
Terry
you just
Riley
say
did
that
in
there's
C.
there's remixes of the silence?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Terry Riley's song is in C, which is just a C note.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's John Cage's 4:33, and it's
Yeah.
4 minutes and 33 seconds of silence. And people are like, "Well, that's so thought provoking." No, it's not. It's silence.
It's a commentary on many things.
It's a commentary on stupidity. That's what it is.
But the good version of that is Wolfpack's Sleepify album, where
Yes.
it's 40 minutes of silence, and they ask their fans to play on repeat on Spotify while they slept.
So what you're saying is if you turn something into a capitalist marketing tool, it's good.
Yes.
But if it's done for art's sake, it's bad. I understand. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no, they're not there, but they're not like being like up their own ass about it. It's not like, well, yeah, this is a commentary on like the no, it's not. They're like, hey, we're trying to make money to fund our tour. Just put this on while you sleep. It's silence, and just put it on repeat so we can get the royalties.
Yes.
That made sense to me.
Can we go back to the indigenous artist again?
Yes.
Why is it an indigenous artist? I still don't understand this. So
He's Native American.
what Native American is he?
I don't.
So
There-
can't we just
there are
find out
many.
what he is? And
Well, but I don't know. So I said that. For instance, if I knew somebody was from Europe, but I didn't know where in Europe, I would say they're a European artist. If I didn't know if they're from Finland or Iceland, I would say European, or I'd say Nordic, whatever. It's a broader term. So instead of saying he's Cherokee or whatever, I was just saying he's indigenous.
but I don't think that the Cherokees would appreciate that if he wasn't Cherokee.
Shawnee.
That's
Shawnee.
Okay,
So if
that-
he was
that's
a
why I said
Shawnee,
indigenous.
Actually,
instead
his mother was of Shawnee descent. His father was of Cherokee heritage.
ooh,
Yeah.
Oh, they got together.
Yeah.
And they did the nasty. So what I don't understand is like why can't we just say that out loud?
we did. I
Just
just
did.
said it.
Okay. Oh, we've settled that. That's a good thing.
I'm confused as to what the controversy is. here.
Dan's emboldened by Donald Trump being
Yeah.
elected.
No. Let's get something. Viewer, that is not true.
Look, Project 2025 is going to help a lot in a lot of ways. At Real
Don't
Brave
listen.
specifically.
Don't listen to the socialist propagandist here. Moving on. Let's get a little dark. At the tender age of 15.
Wait, darker.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, that sounds like a little bit of what the hell were we just talking about?
Like Ray?
No,
Philip
forget it.
Glass. John Cage.
Lost Highway.
Okay.
Darker then.
Ooh. The tender age of 15. Ray Charles introduced Quincy Jones to heroin.
Whoa.
Pleased to meet you.
Was Ray Charles 15 or was Quincy Jones 15?
Quint.
Such a problem in this country.
Yeah, well, I think that this is the problem with language here. At the tender age of 15, Ray Charles introduced.
I believe
Quincy Jones.
Quincy Jones was 15.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
Thankfully, Jones' career in jazz didn't go up in smoke. Instead, he kicked the habit.
I mean, you can smoke heroin, but it's
Yeah.
traditionally not the way
Right.
you would, consume it.
Opium,
Yeah.
though. Talk to
Yeah.
me about opium. Don't talk to me about opium.
He humorously refers to his rehab as the ghetto rehab, falling down a flight of stairs. The next one is why this got real dark, real dark, kids. Malcolm X. Jones was buying drugs from Malcolm X during his time.
Where's this from? This is from
I don't-
ChatGPT.
No. This is
it's-
research. It's not.
It's not.
Can we
It's
get
not.
some fact checking on this?
I did fact check it.
Malcolm X, the dealer.
Yeah, no, this is true. I fact checked it. It just got really dark.
That's
we don't really
Detroit
need that.
Red. Imagine a shot.
It's bad enough we have a communist here.
I'm a socialist. Thank you very much.
I'm an anarchist.
Good. All right. And I'm a capitalist, see? Well, I think the bottom line is, do we like Quincy Jones's work in general?
Oh hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Like
Yeah.
what?
All of them, Bad and Thriller. Although they
Off
had
the
a
wall too.
off the wall, they had a
Really good.
falling out after I think Bad.
After Bad, yeah.
Why?
Because Michael Jackson got too successful and I think maybe too eccentric for Quincy. Quincy, his whole thing up until he died, he was just like super humble.
Yeah.
Like all about just philanthropy and
Yeah.
just like giving back and giving to the fans and all that. And that was not the direction that Michael went.
That's like cutting your nose to spite your face.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. What I was going to say is,
because of Michael Jackson.
I get it now. I think You Want to Be Starting Something is one of the best pop songs ever made
Yes.
from a production standpoint. The song starts off pretty straightforward, and then that guitar solo is just like very weird, maybe Mixolydian.
What are you talking about? Which song?
Want to Be Starting Something?
I don't know it.
You don't know that song?
No.
God damn, you have to know that song. Anyway, amazing guitar solo. Then there's that like spoken rhythm at the end of the song that keeps repeating over and over again. It's this really. It starts off as a very straightforward pop song, and then it turns into these. It takes these left turns, but it never loses its pop sensibility. So you can play that song for like my mom, and she would think it's great.
Mama Say? Mama
Sure.
Say?
That's the song.
Oh, that's the song?
Yes.
I heard recently that is I'ma say what I say, I'm not gonna stop is what he was actually saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But the end of that song is, I mean, it's an interesting rhythm. The guitar solo before that is really cool, and it makes a song that can be appreciated and respected by people who are musicians, people who aren't musicians, people who want something more avant-garde, want something more pop. It's a really great 4 minutes or whatever it is of music.
Yeah, he was a brilliant producer. He was a brilliant musician. He was a brilliant producer. When he approached Michael Jackson's team, as Michael Jackson wanted to go solo. This is around the time he was in The Wiz, the movie adaptation of The Wiz. Michael Jackson's people said, no, don't go with Quincy Jones. He's too jazzy.
Mm.
And he ended up going with them. And no, I don't think there's anything wrong with having somebody with a jazz background.
They're going to have a more intimate knowledge of chord changes and the relationship between
just a
rhythm.
very well-rounded knowledge of that stuff.
And that album, I mean, there are certain jazzy elements to it, but something like Billie Jean or Thriller or Beat It are pretty straight ahead pop songs. You know, it's not like the influence took the record to an inaccessible place.
Right.
It's a very accessible record.
Yeah.
Beat It was out there.
Well, yeah, but he brought I forget. I guess it was Quincy who brought Van Halen in.
Eddie Van Halen did the solo, yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever hear the story of that and how they recorded that?
It's like one take, right?
Eddie like rewrote it like on his own
Mm-hmm.
and then sent it to them, and they were like, "What?" So they had to like backtrack over everything that they had already done.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Rewrote what?
he rearranged it
Oh, okay.
because he didn't like the way it was, and then he sent it to them, and then there was like stuff missing. They had to like retrack stuff. I forgot the guitarist that tracked everything.
Well, Steve Lukather from Toto did, I think, almost all the other guitar on that record. That album is Toto as the instrumental component of Michael Jackson, essentially.
Wow.
What? Oh, so that makes a ton of sense. I was wondering what he was doing on that record.
Yeah, Toto was like Quincy Jones's like go-to musicians. That's how the band started. They were all session players, and so they were the creme de la creme of LA session players at the time.
Ooh.
And so that album is, I think it's like 80% of it Toto is on. It's some crazy high number like that.
You just blew my mind, man, with these facts. I never knew that. It does make a ton of sense, though, that they are set, because like that's kind of like the best bands in the world have always been kind of like this background musician thing.
It also shows why maybe their songwriting wasn't the greatest, but the performances are really, really strong.
Solid.
Yeah.
Looking at all the things that they've done, and holy
yeah, I mean, just read some of the other records that Toto played.
Some of the session musicians who played with Toto before the band formed.
I guess before they were making records as Toto.
Yeah. No, this is not what I thought it was. Well, I don't recognize a lot of these names, but who they were. So like Jeff Porcaro played drums. I don't know what that means.
He was a drummer in Toto.
Steve Porcaro played keyboards and vocals.
Yeah, so they played with Steely Dan, Seals and Crofts, Sonny and Cher, Michael Jackson,
Steely
Chicago, Larry Carlton, Pink Floyd, Quincy Jones, Eric Clapton, Paul McCartney,
Talking about
Michael
Toto?
McDonald, the Eagles. Yeah, the
Yeah.
guys in Toto played all these bands. Earth, Wind and Fire, Yes. All they did session work for all those artists.
Wow.
It's a crazy impressive list.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Thank you for that. That's a little tidbit. I would say that my favorite tune would have to be "What's Going On," who Quincy Jones was one of the producers, along with Phil Ramone and Ray Brown. I used to play that live all the time. I used to love playing that.
Really?
Yeah, really. It's just a great song. You know what I hated about that song? It was when it was redone, like in the early 2000s, by all like the people that do like "We Are the World."
Yeah.
I hated that so much. It was so bad. You remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
Well, part of the beauty of What's Going On is it's really a simple arrangement. There's not a ton going on there. Like there's
Seven
a lot
chords.
there's a lot of space in it.
Yep.
And it's not overproduced at all. It's just very well recorded.
Well sung. Just
Yes.
a beautifully sung song. What would you have to say is your favorite Quincy Jones effort?
Maybe what's the name of that? The big hit off the wall, not Rock with the other one. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough.
Really?
Like I DJ'd weddings for a number of years, and if you want to get people like on the dance floor, Don't Stop Till You Get
Don't
Enough.
stop till you get enough.
The entire room just gets up and runs to the dance
Yeah.
floor. That song is really well done.
I just learned something about you.
Did I DJ weddings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still do every now and then for friends and that. I did my own wedding. I had a playlist all set up. I just pressed play when it started, and I picked every song at my wedding.
We had a band at our wedding. That was one of my things that I wanted.
We looked into it, and at the time, it was something like 10 or 12 grand.
It was
and we just couldn't.
It was like
we couldn't
$7 grand for
yeah.
us in Rhode Island. Kevin, who played at your wedding?
Not married.
Oh, okay.
Unmarried.
Not anymore. What
Does
was
that mean-
your first wedding? Who did
I
the
think your
music?
first wedding you had somebody play, right?
Yeah, I had Frankie Valli.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, listen, an absolute behemoth Goliath of the music industry is gone, and we're getting closer and closer to the world where none of these guys exist, and then we're just gonna be left with Creed. You know,
Could
you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I just heard the news today.
Uh-oh.
It seems my life's about to change.
Oh man.
He got you.
You did get me. Join us next week for more of this and then some. Kevin will be tall, dark, and handsome, and I will be just here hosting this show for you every single week. Join us here, Real Brave Live, and we'll see you then. Thank you.
Real Brave Live.